Welcome to our Western Mass News Facebook Live coverage of Super Tuesday, the Massachusetts presidential primary. I'm Dave Madsen. Good to have you with us. Joined again by my good friend and political consultant and business consultant, Paul Robbins. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Dave.
No surprises here. Donald Trump and Joe Biden winning the Massachusetts primary.
The thing that nobody wants to see happen, right? These two guys running against each other.
It's going to happen, right?
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
So I guess there was probably a thought that maybe some people, because it's an open primary where if you're an unenrolled voter, you could vote in the Republican primary. So there's this thinking that maybe Nikki Haley would get a lot of votes in Massachusetts. But like every other place, Massachusetts Republican Party is the Trump party now. It's no different in any of the other states, and not different here in Massachusetts.
Well, I know Secretary Galvin yesterday was saying 15,000 Massachusetts Democrats left the party to vote and to get Republican ballots to vote in the primary. And as I look at it, and granted, it's only a small percentage of the vote in, but Nikki Haley's polling at 44% and Trump at 52%. So she's picking up some votes here, but that's no big surprise either.
Yeah, not a big surprise. It's funny to listen to the analysts, even on some of the cable networks, talking about, well, like even in Virginia, here's a more liberal city. Well, there's not that many liberal Republicans left. The Bill Welds and the Charlie Bakers don't really exist anymore in the Republican Party. They've become the never Trumpers, the rhinos, looking for a home now. So they're not the majority anymore in that Republican Party.
It's a whole different Republican Party. From say even 10 years ago or 12 years ago when Mitt Romney ran.
Well, think about it. Republican Party's values used to be strong defense, international security, defending NATO, being tough on a dictator like Putin, open markets, even immigration, which is a mess, and both parties can take the blame for that. Even immigration under Reagan, how to do it, America Stronger by being, all that's gone.
Yeah,
all of it's gone, and so now it's replaced with this kind of grievance politics that we have now.
Speaking of Nikki Haley, what do you see happening after tonight? I mean, there's 865 delegates up for grabs. Trump cannot win the nomination tonight, but he pretty much seals it up tonight.
I felt all along that she and DeSantis were in the race, thinking something could happen to Trump during the race. Goes to prison. I don't know. Has a medical emergency, whatever it is. I think they felt the way their campaigns were designed was to just be in the game, have some of the same values in terms that are appealing to the base, and wait them out.
Yeah.
Which was a crazy strategy. And any campaign I've ever been in, whatever. Candidate A and I'm candidate B, you have to tell them why you don't want to elect candidate A. They never did that.
No.
I feel like they were just waiting it out, like something would happen. Or he would just say, he would go so far that he would alienate voters. That's not happened. So it's emboldened his voters, actually.
But it seemed on all sides, when there were 8 or 9 candidates in the Republican primary, none of them wanted to take on Trump for fear of alienating the base, I guess, more than anything else.
That's it.
Yeah.
I think that's the point, that let's wait it out. He'll fail for some reason. We'll pick up that base support. When what you really needed to do was work against that base at the edges of it. An example, if I was on the other side, I would remind people in Iowa that he brought vaccines. Because there's a lot of anti-vaccine people out there. The country shut down. He let that happen. He put in front of the public Anthony Fauci. Now, those are all things I happen to personally think that were probably good, but to that base, you might be able to chip some away and say he wasn't a defender during those 2 years when we had the pandemic. But they decided to just wait him out, don't alienate the base, and it didn't happen.
So what happened? You see Nikki Haley ending her campaign, just kind of waiting in the wings?
Yeah, campaigns come down to money.
Yeah.
You don't have a platform if you don't have money. The Koch brothers got out of the Nikki Haley business a couple of weeks ago. It's kind of hard to keep going on. I think she'll say that she's still going to be there. Again, I think she thinks something could happen.
Yeah.
I think something legitimately could happen in the courthouse stuff. So I think she'll wait that out. I don't think she'll actively campaign. She'll probably do interviews and stuff like that. The question is, will he say something to her to, like be in my cabinet or something? he might have a moment of truth
Yeah.
where he asks her to endorse her, or he reaches out and says she should be part of the team. Is she going to endorse him or not? She's kind of said that she doesn't have to, but she's looking to 4 years from now.
Yeah.
So again, we go back. Is she thinking, well, am I going to alienate the base here if I don't endorse him?
Again, that's really the driving factor behind all of this.
Yeah, and
We don't want to alienate the base.
Yeah, but I think 4 years we're going to have a very different country. I don't think that base is going to be the base it is today.
As we look at the Democratic side too, there were some very disgruntled Democrats who wanted the primaries to serve as a message to President Biden, calling for them to use the no preference option rather than voting for him. And as I look at the numbers here, actually about a quarter of the votes in Massachusetts are no preference in the Democratic primary. Over the handling of the situation, looking for an end to the fighting in Gaza.
That's significant.
Yeah.
To me. Let's go back 4 years. Massachusetts primary. He did not spend a day in Massachusetts. He didn't spend a nickel on Massachusetts. He was in all polling third behind Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren. He won it going away. And at the time, I said to somebody, it's over, and he's going to become president because people want stability, forget all the other candidates. And the fact that he would win a state as heavily contested as it was with Sanders and the senator, to win going away said something. You just told me 25,000 people voted no preference. So the world's so different now. People are upset. I don't know what any president could do with all these fires that are occurring around the world. Gaza thing's affecting a lot of liberals farther on the left. It's a problem in places like Michigan, where there's a lot of Arab voters.
As you look at all this too, obviously it'll be Trump against Biden as we head into November. We've also got Robert Kennedy Jr. And in some national polls, polling 15, 20, 25%?
Yeah, he's slid back a little bit.
Yeah.
I think he'll continue to do that as it becomes more of a binary, election. And so much is at stake. I think the Trump base is really very highly motivated.
Yeah.
I don't think the Biden base is as motivated, but I do think the folks that hope Biden does okay, who might be soft, I'll see them going to Kennedy. And then there's a question of who does he hurt?
Yeah.
He might take some from each. He's kind of an anti-vaxxer, anti-government, conspiracy theory guy. There's a lot of folks in the Trump camp that agree with that. So he could slice a little bit, but I think at the end of the day, it's not going to make a big difference.
All right, Paul Robbins, we will be back on Western Mass News at 10 on Fox 6, 11 on ABC 40 and CBS 3. It will be another interesting election season for sure.
For sure.
Onward to September and then November. That's it for now for Facebook Live. I'm Dave Madsen with Paul Robbins. We'll see you at 10 on Western Mass News. And, of course, you can always get the latest results on westernmassnews.com or the Western Mass News app. Have a good night.